And see if I can bring this over to this side. Hopefully you can all hear me. Are you all hearing me? Over and out. It seems the closer I get to that, the better it is. Let me have a look and see if I can find that one. That's a not guilty one. Your channel. Live. There it is. Oh, God blimey. I can see my glass on the side there. Never seen that before, have you? Let's have a look and see what I can find. 10. Started streaming less than 1 minute ago. Stand up your rights. Let's have a look, people. Oh. Right. Hey up, me ducks. Hey up. You come from Hull. Do you come from Hull? I love Hull. Oi, oi, day, evening all. Cornwall in the ranks. Stephen Iam, evening everyone. Let me have a look and see how many people are coming on board with this one. Listen, we have got a massive, and again, don't forget to remind me that I'm going over to 5 at 9 o'clock, because otherwise they will be very, very upset with me. And I'm going to wear my t-shirt with pride. And I think Friday morning, early hours of Friday morning, I'll be on the John B. Wells show, and I haven't. I've sent him a thing to say, yeah, I'll be on there and what time, but he ain't come back to me, so I'll have to call him, and he'll know exactly what we're talking about. But I will ring him again. Right, people. I have received a number of emails today, not least of which from a couple of ladies, good researchers, and a gentleman, actually a number of gentlemen, all good people, and I'm really grateful for you sending me it. I'll tell you for why, because I hadn't seen this, so I don't even know if it's been on the news, because I don't watch the news. I'm not interested in the news, but it does prove a point, people, that we are being abused by the British. And it is the British, not the English, because there isn't an English Parliament. It is only the British that are doing what they're doing now, right? So what I'm going to be doing is showing you on the screen as we speak, and you will be saying to me, oh my good God, right? Let me just make sure that you can all see this on the screen as I speak. So there you go. And yes, I have had my super drink today. 2 pints of the super drink. I had a nice little shower about half an hour ago. Had a sneezing fit after, which is all good fun. But this is what I am talking about tonight. So I'm going to wait for a few people to log in. Don't forget to like and share. I'm just going to stick that on the screen a bit lively, because it is helpful when people know. There I am. Don't forget, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. And don't forget to share the channel, because the more you share the channel, the more people will understand what the we're talking about. Like and share, right? There you go. So I'm going to quickly take that off again. Go back to my normal cam. Go back to what I was just on, so everyone understands. The more you share this, the more people that think they're going absolutely mental will find a group of people, us, that will help them to discover the route out of this mess. And the route out of this mess is definitely 100% void the Acts of Union, get rid of the British establishment. We are the last colony of the British Empire, and one way or the other we need to resolve that and go back to looking after ourselves, right? We're all old enough and big enough now to know that we don't want any wars. We know how dangerous everyone is, and we can manufacture our own goods, we can manufacture our own food, we can trade with each other, we can do all the things we're supposed to be doing, but we've got to concentrate on getting the English established corrupt system put to bed, right? And the only way we're going to do that is if you share this channel, and we talk about the solutions, and the solution is the Constitution. But on your screen, what you are now seeing is a massive slap in the face by the human rights courts. And it's not minor, people. This is major stuff, right? So I'm just letting you know. There's my T-shirt, just in case you can't see it there, right? This is major stuff. UK mass surveillance found unlawful by Europe's highest human rights court. Now, what does that mean? Well, people, there was a case that I was watching. For some time, and I have been on this for a while. I've actually mentioned it on the show 2 or 3 times. I didn't know that the massive judgment and ruling was going to be today, and I didn't know that it had gone in front of the Grand Chamber, and I believe that was 17 judges. If not, it's 7 judges, but certainly there it is. UK mass surveillance found unlawful by Europe's highest human rights court. So I keep telling you, and I think most people understand now, that the British are committing human rights abuses, especially against the English. Now, we are the majority of this island and these islands, right? We are being oppressed and suppressed by the British, and they are now showing everybody that their mass surveillance system is to keep control of the majority of the population. This is no different to what the Ba'ath Party and Saddam Hussein did in Iraq, right? There's no difference in that the Ba'ath Party as such were in minority, and they was put in place, guess by who? The British. So Saddam and Stein and his merry little team. So here it is, people. I'm going to go through this and talk you through it. Hello, Danny. UK mass surveillance found unlawful by Europe's highest human rights court. The Grand Chamber of the European Court of Human Rights today ruled that the UK's mass interception programmes disclosed by the NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden unlawfully breached citizens' rights to privacy and free expression. Campaign groups Big Brother Watch, Open Rights Group, English Pen computer science expert Dr. Constance Kurtz brought the challenge following Mr. Snowden's revelation in 2013. Joined by Amnesty International, Liberty and Privacy International, the Bureau of Investigation of Journalism and others. The judgment confirms definitively that the UK's bulk inception practices were, and are, I should say, are unlawful for decades, a finding that vindicates Mr. Snowden's whistleblowing. Documents provided by Mr. Snowden revealed that the UK intelligence agency, GCHQ, was conducting population scale, and when you talk about population scale, I want you all to remember one thing, right? The majority of the population are English, right? What I'm telling you, so the Scots are being monitored, the Welsh are being monitored, the Northern Irish are being monitored, but I'm telling you, we are the majority in these islands, a clear majority, a massive majority, and we are being abused by a minority that has control of the security forces, the British Army, the British Police, the British Intelligence Services, all of it, right? But here's the big key to this and a big problem that we've got and we have to resolve, and I'm going to explain that in a couple of minutes. Remind me to talk about David Goldsmith, the case where he got found not guilty yesterday. This is really important, people. This is not minor. We are being labelled as far right for standing up for English constitutional rights, right? That is a human rights abuse. You can clearly see now that the European Court of Human Rights, via the Grand Chamber, which is not mine, and they don't sit often, trust me, and this was a full hearing, right? Documents provided by Mr. Snowden revealed that the UK intelligence agency, GCHQ, was conducting population-scale interception, capturing the communications of millions of innocent people. The mass spying programs included Tempora, a bulk data store of all internet traffic, right? And that's been going on since the inception of the internet, right? And don't forget, I used to work in infrastructure, data centers, etc., and telecommunications, right? I can tell you that this has gone on for a long, long, long time. Karma Police, a catalogue including a web browsing profile for every visible user on the internet. Black Hole, a repository of over 1 trillion events, including internet histories, email and instant messenger records, search engine queries, and social media activity. So I just want you to understand this. Black Hole, a repository of over 1 trillion events, including internet histories, email, instant messenger records, search engine queries, and social media activity. Now, remember the discussion that we was having yesterday with reference to Twitter, and the CEO of Twitter, who I believe just happens to be Iranian, in London, in coercion with the British government. So we're actually talking about a link with a large corporation, Twitter, on social media, devising a portal with others, with the British 77th Brigade, one of whom is an MP, and is also a lieutenant colonel, because they actually upped his rank. And he is the person that was also part of MI6. And one of the reasons that the British have held, in the securest of terms, Julian Assange, who again I've reported on previously and they took the channel down, is because he knew and people were passing him the information, right? So you've all got to understand that the British, and you need to make sure that these people understand it is the British doing this. There is no such thing in this country at the moment as any form of English administration. We are not, repeat, not self-governing. And this is a clear indication that the British are doing exactly what we said they're going to do, and there is a plan of action that we can take to highlight this to the international courts, right? And we're going to be doing that, and there is something we're doing today, tomorrow, and a few other days, and we're going to be going there, right? In September 2018, the European Court of Human Rights ruled that the UK's mass interception programme breached the European Convention on Human Rights as they lacked adequate safeguards. The landmark judgment marked the court's first ruling on the UK mass surveillance since Mr. Snowden's revelations. However, the campaign groups argued that the judgment did not go far enough in declaring the mass surveillance practices unlawful, pushing the case up to the Grand Chamber. So they had a declaration, but they needed it to go up. And by the way, there was another case in the UK courts. But let me just say this to everyone. I have, on many occasions, spoke to people about our Constitution. There is nothing wrong with our Constitution. Do not let these lefty academic bastards get hold of our Constitution. Our Constitution is unique. It covers 15 documents. it's really important that people understand that Ireland had a good constitution until the Fabian Society rewrote it in 1947, right? When you start fucking with a constitution and what our ancestors fought and died for and handed to us, that's when you got serious issues. Because these people are geared up for it now, right? They know they're about to lose the largest significant colony since the War of Independence with the United States of America. And they know they're about to lose England. And they know they're about to lose their grip on power. Their grip on us. And that is why you're seeing a massive increase in human rights abuses towards the English. And I say towards the English, the Scots can stand up for themselves, the Welsh can stand up for themselves, the Irish can stand up for themselves. But I'm telling you as an Englishman, these people are taking absolute liberties with us, right? And you're seeing that in the British courts. Because British judges should have put a stop to this a long time ago. But they haven't. It's had to go to a European Court of Human Rights, and that is nothing to do with the European Union. You must remember that. It has got absolutely fuck all to do with the European Union, right? So again, today, end-to-end safeguards. Now, I just want to highlight that we do need an amendment to our constitutional rights. An amendment. And that is an Internet Bill of Rights. I can design it. I can work with people that are clever enough to design it. And I can see what, to a large degree, what's coming in the future. Not all the way into the future, but I understand what is capable in the future, right? And we need to, and it will be in another 400 years' time, then the position will be, this will all happen again, and the people will stand up and say, that's it, we've had enough. But they will be using our internet digital Bill of Rights. Mr. Robin, Sorry, Robin, you just got nutted. So, today the Grand Chamber judgment upheld that the bulk interception had unlawfully breached citizens' subjects' privacy and free expression rights and elaborated on the need for end-to-end safeguards. What we need is a digital Bill of Rights. But there's no point in having a digital Bill of Rights under the British, because they're going to put so many fucking loopholes in it ain't worth having, right? You need to go back to an full English jurisdiction, a full English parliament, and you get people that understand what it is they're doing and how they're doing it, to devise this law and to stop these fucking bastards to keep doing what they're doing to us, right? And the only way you're going to do that is if you void the Acts of Union. And all these people out there that won't listen to this, yeah, that sit there and say they're British, you are in the minority of minorities. And let me tell you something, we've had enough of you and what you're doing. And if you are still brainwashed and believe that the British are looking after your interests, there is something seriously wrong with you, right? And I suggest that any of those people need to go and see a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or whatever it is that they need to deprogram them. Now, throughout surveillance practices to respect fundamental rights, the judgment means that the bulk surveillance in the UK and across Europe will require prior independent or judicial authorisation. What the fuck is the point of having that if they're British? And if they are spying, claiming, doing whatever to an Englishman, which is the main group of people they're terrified of. We're the people they're trying to suppress and oppress, right? Judges say the bulk surveillance in the UK across Europe will require prior independent, they're not independent, they're British, or judicial authorisation, checking for adequate end-to-end safeguards, from the initial collection of data to the selection of items for storage. In July, in July, get out of the way before I knock it over. In July 2019, the Grand Chamber heard Big Brother Watch and others' case against mass surveillance practices by the UK, British. The hearing saw government lawyers defending bulk surveillance practices and automated processing to sift through billions of intercepted calls, texts, emails, and internet records. The UK government, the British government, even admitted, and by the way, this covers numerous governments, right? So we're talking about the British Parliament that's allowed this to happen, and the British establishment, and the British civil service, right? Government admitted that the court's confidential emails could be scooped up by the UK intelligence services. So what you're saying is there is something, there is a rule, a particular rule, and the rule relates to client privilege, right? Solicitors, lawyers, etc. No one's allowed to look at what you're talking about. And what they're saying is, because of the way that this surveillance operates, they can see everything about you and your case, right? The government admitted that the purpose of bulk surveillance is not to search for the communications of identified targets, but to gather mass data and decide who should be a target. I hope you're listening to this, people, right? Because we need as many of us with English flags on Saturday at 12 noon, 12 to 12:30, Hyde Park Corner, opposite wherever it was we said we was going, the Bomber Command Memorial. I'm taking it, people know where that is. We should raise our English flags, take the photos, get the stuff out there, show that there's many of us, right? And show the English flag and show them, these people, that the English are standing up for their rights. The candid admission of mass data gathering signals a new approach from the government, which put explicit bulk surveillance powers into the UK law for the first time in 2016 via the controversial Investigatory Powers Act, IPA. That's the case I was following. The IPA is now subject to a legal challenge by human rights group Liberty. Right, that's the one. Now, our British judges have not been helping us out at all. Right, Big Brother Watch and others told the Grand Chamber the UK's regime puts at risk the very values protected by the convention that terrorism seeks to undermine. The campaign groups argued that the mass interception is unlawful, as it cannot be considered necessary or proportionate in a democratic society, and treats everyone as under suspicion. Well, every Englishman is. In case they end up being a fantastic orator, in case they win the lottery next week, and in case they start piling money into a proper English party that wants to stand up and take back control of their country. Whilst the court's majority opinion focused on safeguards of the bulk regime, the applicant's broader analysis about the risks mass interception was supported by a dissenting opinion from Judge Pinto D. Albuquerque, who found that admitting non-targeted bulk interception involves a fundamental change in how we view crime prevention and investigation and intelligence gathering in Europe. From targeting a suspect who can... My hair is itching and I feel like I've got a spider in my hair. Right? And I had one come down and dropped on me about an hour ago, so it's me being paranoid. A society built upon which such foundations are more akin to a police state than to a democratic society. This would be the opposite of what was founding fathers wanted for Europe when they signed the convention in 1950. Quotes, Siki Carlo, director of the Big Brother Watch, said, "This judgment confirms that UK mass spying breached citizens' rights to privacy and free expression for decades. Today, Mr. Snowden's courageous whistleblowing is vindicated, as is the tireless work of Big Brother Watch and our allies in the pursuit of justice. Mr. Snowden clearly deserves the protection of democratic nations across Europe for his selfless defence of human rights. Mass surveillance damages democracies under the cloak of defending them. And we welcome the court's acknowledgement of this. As one judge put it, we're at great risk of living in an electronic Big Brother in Europe. We welcome the judgment that the UK surveillance regime was unlawful, but the missed opportunity for the court to prescribe clearer limitations and safeguards mean that the risk is current and real, and it's still happening. We will continue our work to protect privacy from Parliament to the courts until intrusive mass surveillance practices are ended. The only way you can end that is to void the Acts of Union and to get rid of the British, everything to do with the British, get rid of them, rub them out, and restart England and the English Constitution. Get rid of these British judges. They're just diabolical. I've seen a judgment by someone yesterday, absolutely pathetic. Got to be one of the thickest judgments I've ever seen in my life. This is for someone else, and we need to go to work on that. The court has set out clear criteria for assessing future bulk interception regimes, but we believe these will need to be developed in a harder red lines in future judgments. In bulk interception is not to be abused. As the court sets out, bulk interception powers are a great power, secretive in nature and hard to keep in check. We are far from confident that today's bulk interception is sufficiently safeguarded, while the technical capacities continue to deepen. GCHQ continues to share technology platforms and raw data with the USA. This judgment is an important step on a long journey. Daniel Gorman, director of English Pen, said, "This major judgment reaffirms that the British government's bulk surveillance practices have violated our right to privacy and our right to freedom of expression. Excessive surveillance discourages whistleblowing and curtails investigative journalism. The government must now take action to ensure our rights are protected. Given the growth in online speech, the potential for abuse inherent in mass surveillance regimes is greater than ever." So link that to what's happening with YouTube, with Twitter, with Facebook, and with the other regimes, and them all working together with a portal with the 77th Brigade. Do you really think that the government's going to say, yeah, that's all right, of course we're going to comply? Their middle finger's gone up quicker than you can even blink, right? Liberty lawyer Megan Goulding said, "We all want to have control over our personal information and to have a government that respects our rights to privacy and our freedom of expression. That's what makes today's victory and the court's recognition of the dangers posed by these mass surveillance providers so important." Let me tell you something. Bulk surveillance powers allow the state to collect data that can reveal a huge amount about any one of us, from our political views to our sexual orientation. So let's just say that you're gay. You don't want anyone to know you're gay for whatever reason, whatever. They see every single thing that you look at on a screen, whatever, right? If you're politically motivated and you're leaning towards the English Democrats, or you're leaning towards this or leaning towards that, they will see every element. Will they shut down actively any communication from me and from others who believe in English independence? Of course they will. And again, that's something that's got to be asked now. How many of us are on their list? Our right to privacy protects us all. Today's decision takes us another step closer to scrapping these dangerous, oppressive surveillance powers and ensuring our rights are protected. Not until you get rid of the British. Alistair Pringle, Interim Chief Executive of the Equality and Human Rights Commission, said, and that's I need to come back to this because I'm going to talk to you about it. Governments have a duty to protect the safety of their citizens, while we can all accept a level of intelligence gathering should exist for that reason. Appropriate safeguards must be in place to protect our privacy and freedom of expression. As digital footprints grow and technologies that enable mass interception of personal data develop, our laws and safeguards should continue to adapt at the same time. That is why I keep saying to people we need a digital Bill of Rights. And I can tell you exactly what that would going to be, right? So I'm going to refer back to Chief Executive of the Equality and Human Rights Commission in the UK, right? And there's a particular reason I'm going to do that, because that's one of the things that you need to be doing. So there is the article. I know everyone's been patiently probably waiting for me. I've actually put this in the description of the video. And we now know that YouTube, we knew anyway, but YouTube, Twitter, all of the large scale communications is all being watched. But let me just say this to you, because it is the security services that are doing this, everything that they see on Signal, WhatsApp, Gab, Telegram, all of it. All that happens is you are lulled into a false sense of security. They can see everything. The only time you're ever safe, right, is when you put your phone in your toilet, go out and speak to people, don't use a credit card, get from A to B, don't use a sat-nav, don't do this, don't do that, but your number plate is being recorded through every one of these APNR cameras. They know what area you're in, etc. But when you carry your mobile phone with you, you are giving them, because every cell that you go through, so every time if you drive down the road and it clicks over to the next cell, they can pinpoint where you are to within 1 metre, and if it was militarily, it's something like 10 centimetres, right? They can pinpoint it where you are within 1 metre. If you go to have a meet with someone, so let me say me, Robin, and someone else that wants to talk to us about the English Democrats, a large donor or a political person that was with another group and wants to come on board, right? And all of a sudden they turn around and say, yeah, that's fine. I'll have a meet with you. So you go and have a meet with them. You think it's a private meeting that no one knows you're all having a chat. And all three of you got mobile phones, right? Straight away, the British intelligence know you're talking to X, Y, Z. And then in the background, they start messing about with that person's emails, suppressing this, suppressing that. And that's the way they keep you at a level where they want you, right? Which is no power whatsoever. So there you have one element of that, right? So I've just gone through that. I am now going to clear my screen, go back to a big me with my T-shirt. I love my country, but I hate any British government. I think I've made that pretty clear. I am going to be, again, at Hyde Park, 12 noon this Saturday. It's a freedom rally. I want as many people there to support us as the English. Not me, but you come along, because you're not there for what I believe. You're there for what you believe, right? And that's the difference. And the more people we can get there with English flags and show support for English independence, and showing that we are nice people of all age groups, of all classes, class distinctions, yeah? I mean, I'm talking about, you know, there are solicitors that believe what I believe. There are barristers that believe what I believe. I know there's the odd judge that believes what I believe. And I know that there are working class gas fitters, carpenters, mechanics, car sprayers, body repairers, every element that you can think of, gym owners, right? People that run their own businesses, people that work in Tesco's, right? That believe the same as me. But we're not allowed to communicate our thoughts and expressions to them people because they know, because they did a survey, the 2011 census, that showed there was 32.4 million people that thought the same as us, that they are English-only national identity. And the British, most of whom, unfortunately, are foreigners, was only in 9 million. So just think about that, right? Now, what do I mean by foreigners? I mean people who have come across on dinghies. That's what I mean. And they are aliens. And they are being assisted by the British and the British border farce to come across. And again, yesterday, you had David Goldsmith in court for 8 hours that stood up for his English rights. And he fought back. And the magistrate, after 8 hours, agreed with him, give him a not guilty. And the bit we forgot to tell you was he also got costs. So he was awarded costs by the magistrate, right? And it was 2 magistrates, and they both agreed. And then the magistrate said this to him: "Before you go, can I just say this?" And David looked back at him and said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Just remember, you are the most important person in this court." So there are people that will look at the English Constitution. There are people that will listen to you. But going in courts and saying, "I'm not standing at you, I'm not standing under, I'm not going into a dock, I'm not, oh no, that's a passport, this is it," the John Smith pricks of the world, yeah? You're fucked before you even start. Every court in England should be respected by the English. Because that crown on the back of that courtroom stands for your constitution. It stands for the majesty of the court. And it stands there as long as they are advised to protect you, your constitutional rights, your common law rights, your statutory rights, and your human rights. Remember that. And that's why I always say to people, you must always show respect to that court. Even if the prosecution shows no respect to it. Even if the judge shows no respect to it. Even if the police show no respect for it. You, as an individual, should show respect for that court. Because one way or the other, we are winning. And people are understanding now what's going on. There are more and more people. I could show you something else. I see Dominic Cummings being questioned or giving evidence live today. You'll have to excuse me for not knowing who this MP is. But I want everyone and anyone to have a look at this, although it's fairly obvious what I'm getting at, right? And I'll put myself on a little one. During that element today, just look at that screen. That's a live shot, yeah? There's an MP asking Dominic Cummings questions, right? What do you see that strikes you as odd? Everyone out there listening to this and watching this show will see it massively. Apart from the disgrace of having the other thing directly behind their head. What do you see on the left? And the next question is, how often do you see that? So you're getting it. You're getting there. The Lancashire flag. Why has she got the county flag behind her? forget the Union flag. We're going to be getting rid of that. But that Lancashire flag is important because it stands for the county. So whoever this MP is, and I don't know who she is, right? I'm sure someone out there will know it. The county flag is the important one. My point is, you would not have seen the county flag behind any MP anywhere until we started our campaign to get this up there and noted. And what you're actually seeing now is everyone seeing what's going on. Yeah, so we're talking about the Leicester flag. I'm not interested in obviously the British flag, right? So I'm now going to show you something else. Did I send it to anyone? There's lots of different elements to this. And by the way, I did actually show a flag. Let me see if I can actually find this for you. Is it in there? What's the easiest way of me getting to it? I'm looking for it now. I've got 15 minutes before I go over to the other side. Storage, full English, Runnymede. So I've got county militia flags and more county flags. Oh, don't like that one. Let's see if I can go through this. See if I can pick some of these out. Now, I spoke to someone the other day and I said, can you tell me what this flag is? And some people was coming back saying, I ain't got a fucking clue. But now we know what it is. Hang on a minute. Only because I found it. Oh, there it is. I'm going to put this up on the screen. So these flags are really important, right? So again, they're going to go on a website, and we need to get these, printed off in mass and see if we can start getting them done for £3 so people can stick them up and show that we don't want the Union flag. The Union and the British are the ones who have took it all away from you, right? But on the screen, what you're seeing now. And I'm going to bring this down to that side, right? So I'm going to ask you again, and let's see if anyone done any homework on it. Do you know what flag that is? Do you know what the county stands for in the middle there? So I'm asking you, do you know what that county is? I'd love anyone to come out with the answer. I know what it is, and I'm gonna give you the answer in about 30 seconds. So you keep having a look. Come on, someone. No, Stuart Wood. But I can see why you think that. No. I can't see anyone coming out of it. No. Establishing no. Close. Ozone, 1959. Nope, you're coming out with the wrong ones. Right, so now I'm going to have to tell you, because no one's actually told me what it is. Right, it is Berkshire. Right, so that is the Berkshire flag. And just in case, if you thought, let me have it. I'm going to try and find you the Hertfordshire one. And I'll get told off for pronouncing it wrong, so I have to be very careful how I say it. Right, let me have a look at all my flags. Where is it? Bing, ping, 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 ping. Ping, 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 ping. Where you gone? Come on. I know you're there. Stop hiding. Someone's going to see it in a minute and say to me, I can see it. Where is it? That ain't it. 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 I'll tell you what, I thought it was near the top because I'm like that. Because I think it's a top county. Let's see where I can find. There it is. Yeah. Right. So everyone who was saying Hertfordshire, that is the Hertfordshire one. So it's a deer with antlers on a shield. What looks like water in the background. Right. So hopefully you're all understanding what that is. Paulette, well done if you said Berkshire. But the point is, I don't mean, and I'm not being rude about this, I actually learnt all this in geography in primary school and the first year of secondary school. And I remember very boringly having to colour them all in and memorise them, right? I don't think they get taught that anymore, but that's how important the counties are for us. So the county flags are the equivalent to the state. So if you think Hertfordshire is, for example, the equivalent of Texas, right? So Texas has got its own flag, and so has Hertfordshire. Yeah, Essex has got its own flag. So I'm going to show you another one, fairly obvious one. This one is. There's some that are not so obvious. I've got to tell you. There's two that look very, very similar, right? So I'm going to show you the two similar ones, and you can tell me what they are. So that one's on the screen now. Tell me what that one is. I know most. This is a little bit of a quiz for you. I know you like quizzes, right? And again, beautiful flag, and that's what you should be seeing behind any MP. I don't mean it. I nearly said what it was then. All right, you've all said it. You got that one. You all got that one. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at that. How clever you lot are. You're all getting good at this, you know. I love the fact that you actually do know what it is, right? So now I'm going to show you the one next to it that looks similar, but it's not the same. Where's that? Give me a starter for 10, right? This is your education for the night. Tell me what one that is. Let's have a look. Tracy Trim. I'm so wrong. Right. There's the effort. Sheffield. Let's have a look and see if there's any others there. John Peel, Surrey. No, that's not a Surrey one. I don't believe that's Surrey, funny enough. I think Surrey's something else. I'm going to show you something else now. So I'm going to go into these other ones. And you should... I'm actually getting this made up as a poster because they sell them as posters. Right, so I'm going to show you something else now as a poster. And it won't be that. Let me get rid of her. I'm going to show you what it is. It says phone's not connected. Oh, blimey. Let me have a look. I think I sent it to that wonderful lady. Oh. I've got to turn my phone back on to get it. I'm hoping it's going to come back on again. Right, so I'll be about... We've got another 5 minutes before I switch off of this one and go over to the other side. Middlesex is held. Laugh out loud. Let's have a look. Let's see if there's any other ones in there. Let's see. Come on. Let's see if this comes up. Right, that one's just come up. Let's just see if this has come up. Nope, it's still not coming up. That's a pain in the arse. Right, it means I've got to go and find it from somewhere. I've got 2 phone calls coming there. Right, let's see if I can find this. Did I send that to anyone? I can't think of anyone else to send it to be honest with you. Let's have a look on there. That's quite funny. I'm watching some of this stuff come in. Right, let's have a look and see what I can do. Right, we're going to go from that. I am going to try and find this video. Let's go and see if I can find her. Oh, right. Now it's come up. Well done. Took a while, but we got there in the end. Let's have a quick look. Make sure there's nothing doxing anyone. Hopefully, you can all see this, or you will be able to see it in about 2 seconds, because I'm going to show you this. They do this as a poster. I'm not sure if I've actually sent that as a link or not, but I might put it on the website. But there's actually someone out there who sends this out as a poster, so you can have it on the back of your door. And if you ain't that au fait with it all, you can go and have a look. So there it is, right? So I'm going to bet county flags of England, right? And don't forget, some of these have been bastardised. And there you've got that. Bedfordshire, which is the one up there. Some people said Bedfordshire earlier. Berkshire, sorry. And that's the one, that's the Berkshire one, yeah. Buckinghamshire, Cambridgeshire, Cheshire, Devon, Derbyshire, Cumberland, County Durham. I like that County Durham one. I could see that on the shield. Obviously, you've got Essex there, Dorset, Gloucestershire, Hampshire, Herefordshire, which has got a moo cow on it. Leicestershire is with the fox. Lancashire, and you see that one earlier. Kent, which is the white horse, that goes back thousands of years. Again, on the left there, you've got Hertfordshire, Huntingdonshire, Kent, Lancashire, Leicestershire. And there it is there, Middlesex. So there it is. You've just seen the answer to some of your questions. I'm hoping you're liking that. Nottinghamshire, you've got Robin Hood. Oxfordshire, again, you've got cow. You got wheat and you got trees, which I think stands for orchards. Rutland, Shropshire, Somerset is a nice one. Got nice elements to it. What you got there? You got Staffordshire, Suffolk, Surrey is the weird looking one, where it's just checkered. I don't think weird looking one is the answer. But at least you get Sussex, Warwickshire, Worcestershire, Yorkshire, and there you see it down the bottom there. And then you've got the Lancashire, and then you've got the Yorkshire, Worcestershire, Wiltshire, and Westmoreland. So there they all are. So I'm hoping that you love that as much as what I do, because it reminds me. And then what they used to do in school was you had like a map, and you had to write in where they were, all right? And I didn't mind writing in where they were. It was the colouring them in that got me nut, as you would expect. Right, there we go. So, people, I do hope you've enjoyed this show. What I'm asking is that you all now come over to the 5B5 channel, and I'm hoping that many of you already know where that is, and if you don't, I'm going to show you, because there it is on the screen. I'm going to put the link in to the chat, so don't worry about me still talking to you at the moment. What you need to do is to go over to the 5B5 channel, and I'm going to be there in a few minutes' time. But there it is, and we will carry on talking about the human rights abuses, because I'm then going to tell people how you can help us, and also how the American audience can help us as well, because I think people really ought to know that. So there you go. Now, don't forget, anyone, share this video, because sharing this video really helps us, right? You've got to understand that the more of us that go out on freedom rallies with the English flag, yeah, with I love my country, and if you don't want to just have that in there, you want to have your own thing. All of them are on my website. And again, I'll go through it because I've got to go through and make sure everyone knows which one they are. So I will see you on the other side. I will pop up in the United States of America, and we will carry on from there. So don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution. And it is. That's it.